Hi, Tom Cole for Unsung Hero, and of course brought to you by the good folks at Team Sports, Mr. Bob Eberly and Nick Eberly and the fine gang out there. And you know, it's a privilege to do this, number one, but it's so interesting to be able to talk to people that are difference makers in our community, making a difference every day, making our community better for all of us. And I've got one such gentleman here today, Dr. Romules Durant, Superintendent at TPS. Doc, so great to be here with you. You know, Doc, we go way back, you and I, and you know, I admire so much your energy, your vision, you know, your optimism for our community, because it's not easy. There are tougher social issues out there than maybe average people don't understand. How many homeless in TPS? Kids going to TPS?
Yeah, right now we had grown over to 3,000. We started the fall season off in August at 2,600, and just amazing that you picked up another 400. I mean, and that happens daily. I mean, a child or a family declared homeless could be one day at a time, or it could change within hours. It's just a matter of whether one loses their job or something goes wrong within the household, and you have family members just really out trying to fend for themselves and figure things out. And many times, they don't acknowledge or want to speak up about being homeless.
Sure, because they're embarrassed, or there's a stigma, or whatever.
Yeah, and then what you'll find is even some situations where, when I tell people epidemics comes up, the heroin epidemic has created situations where you have kids raising kids. I mean, I have working with a young man, 9 years of age, raising 2 siblings.
Which is unbelievable.
Because, the mom is addicted, so the kids are living with grandmother, who technically isn't the guardian, but grandmother is on her way to hospice because she's not all the way there. And so now you have a child trying to raise other children, and the challenge of today's youth is far greater than I can remember at any other time.
It's so great that you show this caring for our youngsters, and that flows over to your staff, to your teachers, to your coaches, because we're all in this. It's not, not one person can solve it alone. We need everybody, right?
Yep.
And if somebody's, when they watch you on the Unsung, and if there's some way that they have a skill or talent or financial help, or some way that they think they can help you, should they give you a call?
You know what? I always tell them, don't hesitate to call. My email is rdurant@tps.org, or anytime you just Google my name and number as well as email, it'll come right up. And these are initiatives that's going to require all hands on deck. I think the social construct has to change as well as how we address those. We can no longer isolate communities and hope that they fend on themselves. We have to get involved hand to hand and really provide a support system as well as opportunities within those areas, and continue to do it. So, like I tell them, my optimism as well as excitement and energy to let them know that I haven't given up, neither should you. And so within that, then I'm going to continue to be inspired, as well as our staff, from our teachers, social workers, to administrators, even food service workers, bus operators, to our crossing guards. Every one of them are involved in some way or form. Every time I go out and meet, because that's what I love to do, is meet our staff and go into the classroom, and they tell stories about what they've done as a crossing guard to a child that they recognize, because the needs are there and you can recognize it because they wear it on their sleeve, but they're just not vocal about it. And so by having that opportunity and having all hands on deck just from an internal staff has really gone a long way. We need to continue to grow the external staff, because one of the things that someone has said to me is said, man, we're in a state of emergency. I mean, we got the largest number of homeless kids within Toledo, and we're not even the largest city in the state of Ohio.
Right.
And I said, well, that state of emergency just didn't happen today. It happened 10 years ago. It happened many years ago. We're just now talking about it. And so we're going to continue to grow and continue to move forward. And like I said, we can't give up on our children as well as these families. And ultimately, that's going to have an impact on the city of Toledo in regard to how we revitalize itself by one family at a time. And again, like I said, your current situation is not your final destination. Every one of them is seated for something great.
Doc, we're going to give you our Unsung Hero Award from Team Sports, and you're a hero to all of us.
Appreciate it.
You'll never give up on any of our kids. I know who you are, and I know your heart, and you're a guy that will never give up, and you're an advocate for our kids that are struggling. Doc, thanks so much for being with us. Tom Cole for the Unsung Hero.